Hello again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 3 of Baby Got Scraps, a scrappy inspiration YouTube and Instagram hop. So today's kit is a brown one, and as you know, we use one 12 by 12 sheet of paper and the rest scraps. So here are all the brown scraps that I chose to use on today's layout and this beautiful wood grain. Now my scrappy friend, Ronnie Sue Scrapper, has this way of using these planked boards, and I thought about it and I really wanted to do it, but I couldn't, alas, because I cannot pull in another 12 by 12 sheet. So I am going to do it where you have to go to her channel and totally check it out, but she cuts up the planks and makes gorgeous layouts. So I was contemplating it, but then the whole only one 12 by 12 sheet of paper hindered my plan. So I will scrap lift her at another day. All right, so now this is a 5 by 7 picture of my late grandpa. And he was a funny old man. I loved him. That is actually my kitchen now. He passed away and left the house to his kids, my mom and her 2 brothers, and I went through a messy divorce as he was passing away. And once he was gone, my one uncle said, why don't we let Becky, live there while she gets back on her feet? And I ended up purchasing the house from them because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I no one else can ever live here, ever. I just couldn't do it. So anyway, off of that one, I do have this scrap in here, and it is ripped on 2 sides of this beautiful floral, so it doesn't quite fit the whole picture because I matted it on some brown cardstock that was a scrap. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tear that, and then I just do some wonky layers of all the different pattern papers that I have, and I tear them all. So I went on a tearing day because I haven't tore paper in quite some time. I'm sure I have, I just don't remember it. And since 2 of these papers were already partially torn, I just went with it. And then like I said, I'm gonna do that. So while I'm tearing all this paper, because I do tear all the paper, please go and check in the description below. I will have all the beautiful ladies that are playing along with day 3 of the Baby Got Scraps hop and see what they decided to use today. I know some of them did create page kits like I did. They even filmed theirs, so if you want to see that, go to their channels as well and check out back in December when they were creating the page kits. I didn't film mine because I had so many other things going on. I had Christmas hops and such, and I was overwhelmed with all the process videos that I had to create. So I just, I will do some page kits if you guys would like to see those. Just let me know, leave a comment below. And I didn't have enough room to use my ruler and be able to pull it and get enough. So I just went ahead and did a messy tear, and it's not perfect, but it's torn paper. It's not supposed to be perfect, right? All right, so right here, I'm done with the layers behind my my grandpa, and he was amazed. My uncle got him a tall boy, and he thought that was the coolest thing ever. I don't think my grandpa had ever seen a tall boy in his entire life, which really makes it funny. And I was sitting across from him at the kitchen table, which it's really funny to look at pictures now because have been remodeling the house and like updating it, and so nothing is the same. The only thing that's the same in the kitchen is, at this point, still the floor, because we're working on that. I have to get the tile painted, and I'm painting all the grouts in the tile. So anyway, it's just really funny to look at those things and not see that's not what it looks like anymore. So I went ahead and tore that. I think that's a 6 by 12 piece of paper, and I just tore it so that it's not, fully 12 by 6 anymore. Just to give it the rough edges. I did contemplate and grab some distress ink, but then I just moved on and I started gluing stuff down, and I was like, oh, well. And if I try to go back and distress after the fact, yeah, I just make everything ruined. Now this was from a 12 by 12 piece of paper that I had used, probably some of the border strips. It was a cut apart of 12-inch border strips, and I just tear them down. I tear them as well. And as you see here, I was planning on doing everything straight, but when I looked at it and it was all wonky, I'm like, I like that. So I'm going to make sure it stays like that, because if I take that up, I'm never going to get it again. So I just start, randomly sticking just a couple pieces of adhesive under. And I do fight with it quite a lot because, I'm trying to glue it down and it's got stuff stuck on top of it. And yeah, it was It was bad. My ATG is fighting me right now, and I don't know why it's doing that, but it'll be okay. So now I want to get this little piece down, and then I do run another line right there. Just getting it all just adhered down as much as possible, and I give up the fight and just go with it. I did overshoot the adhesive on these last two, and it's the ATG adhesive from Tape Jungle, so it just rubs right off. Now I do have this cardstock border strip here, and I'm like, it's been around for a while. I cut it and we're just gonna layer it up underneath the picture and add it as a third border strip. And, you know, don't be afraid to cut your chipboard. Missy Witten taught me that, so I just went ahead and cut it and made it work for me, because otherwise it would have been sitting around in my stash for that much longer. And it is chipboard, and even if it was new, it wasn't going to stick anyway, so I just add some ATG. Now I'm going to bring out my ruler again, because I can tell it's not straight, and I mean, the picture is separating it, but I do want it to, you know, somewhat look like it's running the entire length behind the page. I did go ahead into the piece that I cut from the middle. I went ahead and fussy cut the mountains out of, and I did that off screen because, oh, that took a minute. I'm going to go ahead and take this little piece of craft cardstock, and it was a scrap, so I just cut it down into a banner, and I'm going to make a nice little cluster right up here. I'm going to use some of my labels, and I did pull out, when I made the page kit, I just threw a whole bunch of brown elements in here. Sometimes I had the picture in mind first, and sometimes I did not, so obviously this is one that I did have the picture picked out, because I have a lot of the grand papa items on this. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cute little guy that I fussy cut up there. So Score used all of that up. I mean, there was some scraps, but I feel good about it. And now I'm going to go ahead and figure out, I want to put, my title is going to be Grand Papa, which I called him Paul. I don't know. Just he was my paw. Now this papa right here, I'm going to angle that middle A up underneath the peak of the mountain, so you'll still be able to tell it's an A. I did have that one P under and the other P on top, and I didn't like that. I just went ahead and put it both on top. Now I'm going to go ahead and take some of these other little craft stickers that I have that have been in my brown color box for quite some time of embellishments, and I just grab a whole bunch of them, and I'm going to sprinkle them around the page. I do a bit of mixed media on this side. And I was trying to see where I could use the banner, and it ends up they don't make it onto the layout. So we just put them to the side. And I do have this cute little Coke bottle right there. I realized that he has a Miller Lite tall boy in his hands, but you know, it made it work in my head. That little, you know, bottle of soda worked, because we're gonna call it soda. Now I go ahead and take my wax paper and stick it over the picture, and I'm going to take the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Tea. Absolutely love this color. I guess it's because we were in fall, but I have been using it a lot. Now, the splatters that hit that very light piece of paper, that is like super thin, flimsy pattern paper, and it just absorbs right into it. So you'll see that in the picture. I do take my gold stickles and add 3 little dots around the page, and I'm going to come in and make little clusters, and I'll grab my Perfect Pearls in Robin Egg Blue, and that's because I was trying to bring more of the blue in from that little mountain thing, just a hint more. So I add a very small dot with the gold stickles, and then I'm going to come in with the bisque Perfect Pearls and add a bigger dot to that cluster. And then I'm going to grab my Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine, and I'm going to splatter that around the page, and that is going to be it for this layout. I do come in and write December 2016 on the bottom of the layout in a gold G2 gel pen, just so that I know when I'll remember this, because unfortunately this was his last Christmas with us, and it was Christmas Eve. But I know I'm doing a fall layout, so it's okay. Just, it made sense. You know, I've been doing so many other I did so many other Christmas layouts that I went fall on this one. All right, that's going to be it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.